Hello everyone, welcome back again to our channel KiwiQA. This will be the next part of the Selenium playlist tutorial. In this video, I'll be talking about an important concept which is the locating strategies for web elements. So like I'll be talking about how we can actually maintain a proper industry level standard while using the web element locators and how we can locate multiple elements. So let me go back to my project. Here, if you see, in this is the project, we will be talking about locating strategies for web elements in Selenium, and these are the three important points that I'm going to discuss in this video. How to locate an element from an web element. The second one is how to actually write a proper standard code for using the web element interface, and the third one is locating multiple elements. Okay, these three will be the main topics of today's tutorial. Before starting this tutorial, I would like to request all of you to please like and share our videos with your friends and family, and at the same time, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you really like our videos. And last but not the least, don't forget to hit the bell icon so that you receive notifications and updates regarding our latest videos. Thank you. And at the same time, I want to thank all of you for supporting us till now and obviously for the future. So, without any further ado, let's get started with the topic for today. So, as I said, today I will be talking about one important interview question in Selenium, which is locating strategies for web elements. Okay, these are the three topics that I'm going to cover today. Out of that, let us start with the first one: how to select an element from an web element. Okay, so let me create a class in this particular package, which I had created earlier in my previous video. Okay, here I will create a new Java class named element from web element. Okay, see the way I'm writing the name of the class. It should be meaningful enough so that you can understand what you are going to do in the program. Okay, now I'm done with this. So let us start writing the basic stuff that we need. Okay, for that, what we can do is I can just go back to any one program from the earlier videos or the earlier programs, and I can just copy paste some stuff. Okay, so let me take till here. Okay, I think I need one more curly bracket here. Yes, this is done. So let me just minimize this for the timing so that I can zoom the screen. So let me just tell you a brief intro about this same thing. I have created a object of the WebDriver interface, and it is static because I can call it directly. That's it. If you don't know why I have done all this stuff, you can just go back to the previous videos of this playlist. I will give the link in the description and also in the I button. Just go and understand the topics and you can come back and follow this tutorial. Okay, so in the main method I have written this command. So in the system.set property, it takes two arguments. The first one is the name of the browser that we are automating, and the second argument is the path to the driver. Okay, so if you see here, this is my drivers folder. Inside that I have my chrome driver.exe. Okay, so dot slash is the current directory or current project. In the drivers folder I have my chrome driver.exe. This is the path. Okay, now I am instantiating the WebDriver to the chrome driver because I am automating the chrome browser. After that, I'm just maximizing the browser. So driver instance dot manage dot window dot maximize. Fine. So let us now automate any URL. Say for the example, I'm just taking Google. So I will say driver.get. Here I have to pass the URL https colon double forward slash www.google.com. Fine. And let me open this and then I will show you how you can extract an element from another web element. Okay. Let me run this. Okay, you can see it has opened the google.com website. Now let me show you by inspecting this what I want to do. Right click and I'm just inspecting this. Okay, and let me just drag it down. Fine. Now, if I inspect this again, you can see here when I hover over this part, it actually highlights something like this. See here, this is entirely a proper block. So if you just come down to the DOM, here if you see, let me just use the selector again and let me just go here. If you see carefully, let me just zoom it a little bit. Okay, you can see I have something called form here. Okay, this form is actually this entire place. See, whenever I'm hovering over this, automatically the part of that section is becoming blue color, and you can see here I have form written, right? Okay, so inside this I have all this web elements, like I have the search box, I have the search button, I have the I am feeling lucky button. Okay, so that is what I'm trying to do. Okay, so I'm going to go into this form section or the web element. I'm going to store this into one web element, and then with the help of this form web element, I'm going to access the search box and also the Google search button. Okay, let me show you how to do it. So for the time being, just remember that the name of this web element is form, and I'm going to automate that. So with the help of this form, I'm going to access all the other data inside it. Okay, so let me just minimize this for the time being, or let me just close it. Okay, fine. Now as I said, we need to use the web element interface. Okay, I will just say form is equal to driver dot find element by dot, and it was a tag, right? The form was a tag name, so I will use that, and the name was simply form, right? Okay, I'm just storing it and I'm not using any operation with that. Okay, with the help of this form web element, I'm just going to access the button. Okay, so let me just automate that once again so that I can show you some stuffs in that. Okay, so here you can see I have just opened google.com, and here let me just inspect this. Okay, so if you see here, let me just use the selector and go to this search box. Okay, if you see here properly, the name of the search box is Q. We have done this earlier, right, in the earlier videos. So the name of the search box is actually Q. So what I want to do is, using this form that you see here, this form or this form tag, I want to access this search box which is Q. Okay, like this exactly. So we have the idea now. Let me just show you how to do it. So I will just say form. So this is my variable or object, form dot. I will just say find element, and the name of that element was Q, right? We remember that. So I'm going to write it inside double quotes, and just because it is a text box or search box, we are going to send some keys into that, right? So send keys. Here I am going to just say, suppose Selenium. Okay, and I will show you one more thing here which is very important to understand. Whenever we just click on this, see here, automatically the Google search and the I am feeling lucky buttons, they get masked. So we cannot directly click on those buttons because they are not accessible. We cannot see that. Selenium will not understand that. Okay. So after say typing Selenium, I cannot simply click on that. You can see here, right? It is masked. So the best way of doing that is, I will show you. Minimize this, or let me just close it. Okay. So generally what we do, we go to the Google search button and then we click on that button. But rather than that, what I want to do is just see here. I'll run this again. Okay, it is typing Selenium. Now see, after typing Selenium, I am not able to access that button. It is not visible. So rather than clicking on the Google search button, what we can do is we can simply press enter, right? You can see here, as soon as I press enter, it is going to that particular page. Okay, it is actually performing the search operation. So let me just show you how we can do it. We have a special class in Selenium called the keys class. Okay, so I'm just going to use that here like this. So I will just say plus, I will call the keys class. You can see keys belongs to org.openqa.selenium. Okay, with the help of the keys class, I have the access to all the keys of my keyword. Okay, so I will just say enter, because I showed you that with the help of enter we can just go on to the search options. Okay, so let me just do one thing before we have automated anything. Let me just put a sleep. So thread.sleep of around 2 seconds. Okay, fine, that's done. Now after we have done this operation, let me just pause it for 3 seconds. After that, I will just quit the browser. Okay, driver dot quit. Fine. Now let's see. My target is I will open Google. I will try to go to this form tag. Out of that tag, inside that form tag, I am just going to find the element with the name Q. Okay, there I am going to send the key Selenium in the search box. Okay, after that I am using the keys class to press enter in my keyboard. Okay, and after going there I'm just going to hold for 3 seconds and then I'm going to quit my browser. Let's see if we are able to do that or not. Okay, so I'm running this. Let's see. It opens Google Chrome, types Selenium, and you can see it has pressed enter. Okay, so it's working fine. After 3 seconds it is also closing the browser. So we have successfully done that. Okay, this is the first part, guys. I hope you have understood this. This is about getting an element from an web element. So first we have stored the form tag inside the web element. From the form tag, with the help of this, we are going to the search box. We are passing Selenium as the keys or the sequence or string, and then we are pressing the enter from the keyboard. Okay, that is using the keys class. Because generally if we do it, it will not work. I will show you when I do it in the second one. You will understand properly. Okay, so let me show you a example where I will show you how we can actually write a proper standard of code for using the web element interface. Okay, so just let me do one thing. I will just copy some stuff from here. Okay, because I need that. Till here I'm copying. Okay, so let me create one more class, proper standard of web element. Okay, fine. Here let me create the main method, or let me just paste the stuff that I've copied. Fine, that is done. And I want one more curly bracket. That is also done. Now let's see. Let me just run this for you for the time being. Okay, it is opening Google. That's okay, and is waiting for that, right? So let me just show you what I'm trying to do here. First, I'm going to use the search box. I will inspect this, and as we already know, the name is Q, so we will just do that. Let me just inspect it once again. Yeah, this is the search box, and you can see the name here is Q. Okay, so that's all fine. Let me just do it. What I'm trying to do, I'll show you. And let me also inspect the search button and remember the name. You can see here I have a name which is called btnk. Okay, so let us just write the code for that. After this I will just say driver dot find element. by dot name. Okay, the name for the search box is q, and here I want to send some keys, and let me say selenium only. Okay, and let me pass some sleep again, say 1 second, and after that I will just say driver dot find element. Say this time it will be by dot name. The name was, if I remember properly, it is BTN and K. K was capital. Let's verify once again. Yeah, you can see here BT and K. Okay, so here, since it is a button, I have to click on the button. So I will just say this, and let me just remove the sleep and run this. Let's see if it's working or not. Okay, I'm running this. It's opening Google, going and pressing, typing selenium. Okay, and then you can see after that, because it is masked, it is not able to click on the Google search button. So that is the problem. You can see here it is trying but is not able to do it. Let's go back to our program and see what is the error. So you can see here we have got an error. So you can see here element not interactable, because selenium is not able to identify the element. It is not visible. So that's why we need a proper standard of doing this, right? So let me just write down a comment here. This is the normal method that people do and get confused in this. So because the Google search button gets masked as soon as we type something onto the search bar or search box, therefore this method is not valid properly. Okay, so what we need to do is, let me show you. Let me just comment this part. So I'm using control and forward slash for commenting the code. Okay, you can just select the code, and if you press control and forward slash again, it will uncomment it. Again, if you just control and forward slash, it will comment it. Okay, so let me just show you the proper method now. Okay, so here I will use the web element interface. I will say search box. Okay, this is the proper way, because industry standards tell us that we should always identify an element and store it into a variable so that we can use it multiple number of times. So driver dot find element. Here we know the name. So by dot name, the name was q, right? Now we can easily interact with this. So I will say search box dot, we send keys, right? Send keys. Here I can simply pass selenium. Okay, after that I can just use the other part that we had already done here. You can see here element for element. I just said plus keys dot enter, or you can say comma keys dot enter. That is also okay. Okay, I will just show you the other one also. Comma, I can just call the keys class, and I can say dot enter. Okay, this way it will also work. So after that, let me use the chat dot sleep command for around 3 seconds. Okay, and finally I will quit the driver. Okay, driver dot quit. Fine. So let me just close the earlier Google websites or browsers, and then I will freshly automate that. Okay, because it is not a good practice to keep your browser open after doing the operation. So let me run this now. Okay, it should open Google, type selenium, and it will press enter. Okay, you can see that it is successfully automating, waiting for 3 seconds, and then it should close the browser. Yes, it is quitting the browser. So that's it. This is also working, guys. This is very frequently asked in the interviews. You please remember that we should always store the web element into a variable of the web element interface, and then we should try to interact with that. That is a good practice. Okay, or by meaning proper method, it is actually meaning that it is a good practice which is followed in the interview. Okay, so two of the topics that we had to discuss today are already done. Let me go to the third one, which is locating multiple elements. Okay, so for that, let me just create one more class. I will say locating multiple elements. Now let me just write down the third one for you guys so that you can have a proper idea. So static web driver main method, and let me just delete this space. System dot set property. Here it takes two arguments: web driver dot chrome dot driver. If you are using Firefox, it is Gecko. For Edge, it is Edge, and so on. Okay, I have already discussed all those in the earlier videos of this playlist. You can just refer them. The second argument is the location of the browser driver. Okay, so dot forward slash means the current project. So drivers folder. As you can see, this is my drivers folder here. Here I have chrome driver.exe. So again, one forward slash drivers. Sorry, chrome driver.exe. Okay, so this is done. Now let me instantiate the driver to Chrome driver. Okay, because we are automating Chrome browser. Here I will just say driver dot manage dot window dot maximize. Fine. After that, I will just say driver dot get, or you can also use navigate dot to. Here I will pass the URL. So this time I have a new URL for you. Let me just pop it up for you. So this is the URL. Okay. Try testing this dot netlify dot app. Okay. First, let us go there and then I will tell you what I am going to do with this. Okay, let me just automate this for the timing. I'm running this. Okay, you can see this is the URL. Here you can see we have so many stuffs here: first name, last name, and text fields, and we have so properly managed UI. Here you can practice automation testing if you want to. So automation testers who are new to this field, they actually use this website a lot for automation practice. And today we will be trying to automate this website. Okay, so here you can see we have one option where we can select multiple options. Okay, so you can see if I press Control, I can select multiple options in this particular area. So let me just maximize this for the timing. You can see here I can select multiple if I press Control. Okay, so let me just show you how to automate this. Okay, I want to print all this web elements at the same time. So for that, I will be using a strategy. I will be using the lists in Java. Okay, so let me just inspect this so that I can show you the name. Fine. Here if I just inspect this, you can see here this is a select tag. Here the name of this tag is option with check with a square bracket. Okay, I will just take this name. This name is important. I'm just copying this. Okay, and just remember that. Okay, option with check. This is the name of this options. So always remember, whenever we have multiple options, it will be either a selected, and inside that we have the options tag. Okay, so inside select we have the options tag. Fine. Let us see how we can get all these multiple web elements. Okay, so I have already copied that. Let me just write something like this. So after going to the website, I just want to put some sleep, say 2 seconds, and I have to use a throws declaration. Fine. So now the concept that you need to understand is we cannot directly call all the elements or store all the elements. For that we need a data structure. So I'm going to use the list data structure. Okay, and here what are we going to store in the list? Those are web elements, right? So I will just say web element, and let me just name it as options is equal to. So you can see here I'm getting a warning or error, so I have to import this, right? I will just import this. java.util. Okay, fine, that's done. Now I will just use my WebDriver instance. Dot. We have one method called find elements. It actually helps us to store multiple elements. Okay. If we use find element, it will only store one element. I want to store multiple elements, right? Because if you see here, I had multiple options, right? So I want to store all of them and print them one by one. Okay. So if you just understand how to print them, you can also understand how to interact with them. That is the way we interact with them, right? So let me show you what I'm trying to do here. So I will say driver.find elements, and I will say by.name. And you remember I copied the name of that select tag. So this was the name, option with check. Okay. Now I have stored them one by one. Now, if you know about the for each loop, let us try to use that. Okay. First, let me tell you the syntax for data type, variable name, name of the array or the collection, and then the statements. Okay. Let us try to write this. So I will just say for the data type that we are dealing with here are web elements. So I have to write this. Let me say option colon. The name of the collection is options because this is of the list data type, you can see here. And here I just want to print them one by one. Okay, so I will say s out, but there is a catch here. You cannot directly do it. I need to get the text of that web element, so I will just say variable name, which is option dot get text. Okay, because I need to fetch the text of that particular web element. Okay, that is what I'm trying to print here. And then suppose you can also put a concatenation and put all of them in the same line. I will show you how to do that later, but for the timing, let me run this and show you the output. Okay, so let's run this. Okay, it is opening this URL, and I have not used the quit method, so it will not close it. But let me minimize this and see if we are able to do it. Yes, you can see choose multiple options, option 1, option 2, and option 3. Let's go back to the website and see if we are able to successfully do it or not. Yes, option 1, option 2, and option 3. These are the elements that we have successfully printed or displayed in our terminal. Okay, now let me close this. So this is how it is working, guys. I hope you have understood this. This is how you can actually automate multiple elements. So this is a program to locate multiple elements in Selenium. Okay, so I use the list data structure and I use the web elements, and remember the method is driver.find elements, and this is the name of that particular select option or tag. Okay, so these are the three stuff that I wanted to show you today, guys. Element from web element, proper standard. This is the one element for web element. Okay, so we use the form tag. Inside the form tag, we use the search box to enter some keys and press the enter key. Okay, and proper standard, as I said, the search box, whenever we type something, the Google search button gets masked, so we have to use the keys class. Okay, that is the best practice, and this is how we should actually write it. We store the web element into a variable, and then we try to use some operations with the help of that web element. Okay, same thing, the third one was how we can locate multiple elements from one element. Okay, so we use the option with check name, okay, of that particular locator, and then with the help of that we use a for each loop so that we can print all the options. Okay, and then we use the variable name and use the get text method to access all the elements. Fine. So I hope you have understood this. If you like this video, please give a thumbs up for this video and also share it with your friends and family. At the same time, if you really like the content in our channel, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so that you receive notifications regarding our latest updates. Thank you. This is Saurabh signing off. Till the next video, bye bye. Take care and happy learning.